The competition between Ford V8 engines and Chevy V8 engines reached its peak in the 1990s. Both companies decided to overhaul and go in completely different directions. Chevy, being known for their small block V8, decided to do a ground-up aluminum block known as the LS, which was a continuation of their famous small block V8. Ford, on the other hand, decided to phase out their famous Windsor pushrod V8 and switch to what's known as the modular V8 engine factory. Now, there's a lot of disagreement, and it's not really about which is better or which is superior. It's about what the terminology means. So when you say Chevy small block, you're essentially talking about a pushrod engine that has a low center of gravity, doesn't have single overhead cam, doesn't have dual overhead cam. When they switched to the LS and the LT, they were advancements based on the core principles. So yes, it is not the exact same engine, but Chevy technically has made the small block V8 since 1954 and still makes it today. Now, why did Ford go to single overhead cam, or more specifically, the modular engine factory? So if you're new to Ford, basically before the 1990s, all the big three companies, including Dodge, basically made pushrod engines, small block, big block, different variations. Chevy decides to double down on that. They've got all this money sunk, billions of dollars, decades of research. They decided to push forward, to go old school, stick with the pushrod engine. Ford decides to retool their entire manufacturing plant in Windsor, Ontario, which, if you're not familiar with where Windsor, Ontario is, it's right across the Detroit River Bridge. So that when you follow the money, there's a reason for everything. So it is literally on the other side of the bridge is where most of Ford's engines are being made right now. So what they did is they made an engine that had 100 millimeter bore spacing, and they tooled the factory so that basically a V6, a V8, a big V8, a V10 could all be made on the same assembly line, same tools, same workers, and they could basically scale and compete with the Japanese auto manufacturers. So just so you know, Toyota and Honda had been dominating the fuel efficiency game in the United States since about the 70s or 80s. So by Ford doing this, they were able to take their old school buyers and say, hey, listen, you're still going to get the low end torque, but you're also going to get that mid-range fuel efficiency and the more high-end fuel efficiency that you're not getting with the pushrod engine, and also at a lower cost. See, at the time, really the only companies doing dual overhead cam were companies like Cadillac with their North Star engine, which was developed by Oldsmobile, and Porsche was doing a lot of dual overhead cam. So Ford was sort of able to meet their customers in the middle, get that low-end torque, and keep that fuel efficiency for